أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين فاطر السماوات والأرضين ثم الصلاة على رسوله الكريم جد الحسن والحسين مولانا ومولى الثقلين بالقاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الغر الميامين المخجلين واللعنة على أعدائهم أجمعين وغاصب حقوقهم ومنكر فضائلهم من يومنا هذا إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه الحكيم وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم. Recite salawat please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We started our Majlis from 1st of Mohurram, and continuously we were discussing about different etiquettes which are related to your life, right? And I gave you plenty of information which is useful in your daily life and also improve your life, and you can gain lots of sawab by adopting these etiquettes and practicing in your daily life. But you know what is our tradition? We normally pick one subject and we continuously discuss for several days. 11th of Mohurram normally either they have a new subject or discuss something which is related to something beside what we were discussing. So because we were discussing about etiquette, so today inshallah I am going to discuss about aqaid, our belief. So we can, and also we are going to do some type of question answer inshallah very brief because I have a limited time. But inshallah, so normally when we discuss something, the first and most important questions you have to ask from yourself, whom you follow in your life, right? So obviously you are going to say we follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing you are going to ask, Allah sent 140,000 prophets. Who is your prophet, which you are currently following? So you obviously are going to say Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Where it came from? So answer is because our beliefs came from the Quran. We get our belief from Quran. So this verse, part of the verse I recited is the title of today's Majlis is Atiullah, means Ati means you ita'at come from, you follow them. Atiullah, Atiur Rasul. After like accepting the ita'at or worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But verse is not ending here. There is a continuation in that without any gap. What continuation is saying? Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul ulil amri minkum. When Prophet leave this word, you have to find ulil amr, the person who appointed by Allah or Prophet as a successor, right? So when we believe in these things, Muslim divided into two sects, Shia and Sunni, right? So if I ask you, what is the major differences between Shia and Sunni? So for understanding, we have to divide into two categories again. First category, we have to discuss in the aqaid, means beliefs, and also we discuss into practices, means our furu'id or furu, right? So in aqaid, we have two major differences, right? Number one is in tawheed. Why? Because they believe in tawheed, but they deny the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Justice is not one of their usul-e-din. Their usul-e-dins are three: Tawheed, Nabuwat, and Qayamat. And obviously, you know, our usul-e-dins are five, which are that Tawheed, Adl, Nabuwat, Imamat, and Qayamat. So which two we have additional? Number one is Adl and Imamat. Okay, so Adl and Imamat, where it came from? That's one question we have to prove. Because so we have two types of discussion. Number one, either we have to prove ourselves why we believe in these two things, or either they have to bring some witness or evidence. They say these two things are not necessary. either way, right? So if we ask why we believe in these things, because justice is one of the important things we put into our belief, because if you deny the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all other beliefs going to be null and void. Why? Because if we believe Allah is unjust, He may send the good people in the hell, or He can send maybe bad people in the hellfire, because whatever He's doing is right. So then what's going to happen? People become disheartened and they're not going to practice. They're not going to follow the religion. We have to believe Allah is just. He's going to punish the bad people and He's going to reward the good people. So believing in this thing is called justice. And again, another point. Allah not going to judge us without giving us the knowledge about it, right? Without giving us the knowledge. So what justice demands? Actually, when Prophet was alive, he was giving us the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or giving us the religion as Allah revealed to him. When Allah completed the religion, we need someone equal to the Prophet to protect our religion. To protect our religion, right? And he must have the similar qualities like Prophet, but he not going to be Prophet because prophethood is ended. Now the Imam is going to be replaced and Prophet going to leave an Imam after him, right? So again the Imamat and justice is going to be merged together, because this is demand of justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to leave someone equivalent to the Prophet to take care of the religion and explain the Quran as the Prophet used to explain. Because if we try to interpret the Quran, understand the Quran according to our knowledge, we may make mistakes. If someone equivalent to the Prophet or infallible like the Prophet going to explain the Quran, then that's going to be correct for us, because we can practice without any doubt. So that was the reason Prophet left Imamat behind him, and we have the proof for that. Why? One is Surah Maida verse number 67. Allah very clearly asked the Prophet to appoint Imam Ali as a successor. So we can prove the justice and Imamat both from the Quran without any doubt, right? So this is the major differences between Shia and Sunni according to belief is justice and Imamat. And you have to have a clear reason for that. I'm not going to in detail, otherwise if I just speak about justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I just taught 10 lessons in my 8th grade of Islamic school class, right? And this is in very detailed discussion, really interesting, you have to know, because then when you denying the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you are asking, why these the earthquakes come and why there some people are suffering, why people are born with deficiencies or defects, and these all questions may people ask and they create doubt against the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But alhamdulillah, we have very convincing answer and there is no doubt in that. Difficulties in your life is necessary, because without facing difficulties, you are unable to grow, you are unable to get ability to reach to the perfection, right? If everything coming without any hard work, you're not going to appreciate or enjoy the things you are earning, right? Why you enjoy when you come first in your class, or maybe you achieve your degree? Because you work hard. Why people are celebrating their graduation? Because for 12 years continuously early in the morning they are waking, going 8 hours in their class, learning, acquiring knowledge. Now they become successful, so they enjoy. If one day boy was born and after his 5th birthday when he started speaking, I deliver him a degree of high school, you're not going to enjoy it, because you don't understand anything. He's getting something without effort, so it's nothing for him without a piece of paper, right? But you enjoy it. The degree is very precious. You always hold and put on the right place because you achieve with hard work. So that's the difficulties. It's part of our life. Allah designed the whole world like that. You have to earn the Jannah after hard work. So this same thing. So justice is not doubtable. You cannot create any doubt against the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even we see something around the world why this is not the subject of today. But these are basic things. Now let me come to the next point, because briefly I am giving you some good points to keep in your mind, right? When we go to the second level, in practices, So we have two major differences between these two sects, Shia and Sunni. Even we are same, we have so many things in common. Number one, our Prophet is same. We believe 124,000 Prophet. As Prophet believe, we have no differences between Prophets. All the Prophets' names whoever came in the Quran, all Muslims know these names. 25, 26 Prophet, they have no addition or alteration in that. They are similar. The stories are almost same. There are a little bit difference between that, but mostly are same because they came from Quran and other authentic sources. So this is not like the point of discussion. But the Quran is same. There is no change in the Quran. Interpretation is like when they interpret the Quran, this is another issue. But actual Quran, Arabic script, whatever available from east to west, north or south is same. There is no difference between that, right? Again, now they go to next level. They go to a safe place for Hajj. They have Hajj in common. They have namaz in common. They have 5 times prayers. So many things are common. Only certain issues. Let me discuss these certain issues and we see, because without knowing the reasoning behind that, you're not going to appreciate the work of our ulama, and also you're not going to connect to yourself to our imams. So you have to know why we are practicing these things and other people are not practicing. We have differences between them and us, or we are different. Okay, so let me go one by one. Number one, if you ask the first and very important and most important question is that, okay, after belief, number one, first question they ask from you is the salat you offer, right? Salat you offer. We have 4 or 5 differences between salat. Number one, they offer their salat by folding their hand. We offer our salat with open hand, right? So how you prove which one is the right way of offering salat, right? That's the first question. Second thing, okay, when they perform the wuzu, they have 2 differences in that, right? If you start from wuzu, they have 2 differences in wuzu. They wash their feet beside masa. They wash their hands from finger to elbow. That's the thing. Okay. If you start their namaz, 5 times namaz we offer, they offer 5 times namaz, right? The only one thing is that we like the combined salat. We pray to salat together. They pray. We have 5 times prayers. You can offer 5 times if you want, but because the 2 prayers, like the timings are combined together, right? So you can finish one of prayer and immediately the other time starts. So if you have other like the engagement, or you want to like the offer your salat at the same time, our Prophet practice, and also many like other sects or Sunni believers, they also join or combine the salat in 3 or 4 cases they allowed. In 4 cases they allowed jam bain salatain. Number 1 is when they are in Arafat, because they leave early, so they have to join both. They pray Zohar and Asr together. They are not separating these salat. Okay. They say if there is like the weather condition is not suitable, you are allowed to join your salat. If you are a traveler, you join your salat. If there is other fears or in war or something, you can join your salat. Right. So means like the joining, making 2 salat together is not haram in their law. If it's a haram, they are not allowed to practice any time in the world, any time in the year, right? But they are joining because they are permissible. So if they are permitting their own believers to join both salat or prayer, offer 2 salat together in certain condition, that means Prophet did in their life, right? It's permissible. So we are saying same thing. Means if you offer 2 salat, if time is there, offering salat before time is batil, your salat is void. So that means we are offering salat in time, right? Which time is more preferable and more rewardable? That's another discussion. So we are give the answer. They join their salat in certain times, in certain conditions. So we join our time in common, because we found our Prophet and our Imams used to pray these salat together, and that was their common practice. So we adopted from them, and this is permissible, right? So there is no doubt in that, and it's not haram in their opinion too. Joining salat is not haram. Only say this is less rewardable or more rewardable. So timing is answered. There is no problem in that. Now we can go to the next level. Why certain people are offering their salat with folding their hands, or some are with opening them? Okay. Answer is that in our like the Sharia is that Prophet used to offer his salat in normal condition, right? It started after 2nd Khalifa. It was not practiced in the beginning. Okay, this is number 1. Number two. So you see, among the four sects, Sunni sect. Okay, one more. Let me give you one very good answer, and that answer is really good to keep in your mind, right? Sometimes they ask one thing because like Sunni are in majority and Shia is in a minority. So majority is always right, so they are right. So we have we have two answers. Number one. Answer number one, right, is Quran never ever appreciate the majority and never give any weight of righteousness to the majority, because they said majority people are not thankful, majority people are not believing truth, and these all things are mentioned very clearly in Quran. So this, but still, if they try to find something like that, I can give you one very good answer. We have four Sunni sects, right? The four Sunni sects are like Hanafi, Shafi, Maliki, and Hanbali, right? One of the sect, they offer their salat open. So if you go, listen carefully. So if you discuss about the majority or minority, Shia is always in majority. Why? Listen carefully. This is a very good answer, and keep in your mind. Why they are always in majority? If you make this all Muslim in five sects, if you make the all Muslim into five sects, but Shafi, Maliki, Hanbali, Hanafi, and Shia, right? If you make all Shia Muslims in five sects, the biggest sect among these Muslims is Shia Sunni sect. Recite Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Why? Because they are miscalculating, right? They are putting the all sect in one side and Shia against them. Why they are doing so? If Muslims are divided according to their practices, not according to their belief, then they have to equally define that thing. How they equally define that? The four sects are different, they have difference of opinion. Even they are like not accepting each other. They give fatwa against each other. They are kafir, like they are saying Shia kafir. Even we are never allowed to say any Muslim kafir unless they are not believing in fundamental of religion. If they are believing in fundamental of religion, they have different way to offer their, like the wajibat. We have no problem in that because they are like they understand the Quran in different way. So this is one answer. Majority and minority is not a true way to find the facts or believe in the truth. This is fine. Okay, now second thing, this though. So we gave the answer. Open-handed is more convincible because if they saw the Prophet offer his salat in one way, right? By folding hands. So all four sects must offer their salat in the same form. They put their folding hand in one place. But all sects, they have different place. One put on the next to the under the belly. One is over the belly. One is little bit more. One open-handed. So one offer like here. One in between. One lower. One open-handed. Right? So that means they are putting their hand on different places. That means they never saw the Prophet himself how he was offering the salat. The Prophet never changed his salat. When Allah ordered something to do in one form, there is no way you can change. So they have differences in their opinion too. They have different way to offer. So this is not going to be a proof to offer your salat by folding your hand. Because if we say, ask, okay, where you found? If one day Prophet was offering like that, one day like that, one day like that, one day opening hands, so we open. We started from the opening hand, right? So there is no issue. So, but we have proof. Why? Because after Prophet, we have Imam Ali. He is infallible. He never make mistake. We learn from him. Then after Imam Ali, we have Imam Hassan. After Imam Hassan, we have Imam Hussain. After Imam Hussain, we have Imam Zainul Abidin. Since we have continuity in the Imamat from Prophet to the Imam Zamana, and they all are offering salat in one form. If you can find any Shia anywhere in the world, they have same salat, same method, and same way to complete or offer their salat. So there is no problem in that, right? So this is the one major issue. Let me touch one more issue regarding salat. Okay, when you are offering, first thing, where we have some differences between salat. Number one, timing salat we discussed. They are almost the same, right? Number two, except Maghrib time. Most of the time is same. We have discussion about it. Wuzu, I already discussed few years ago about why we have like the differences between wuzu. Now we go joining the two salat together, I gave you answer. Now folding hand or opening hand, I gave you answer. Now we go to next one. When you start your salat, right? You start your salat, you recite, mostly we recite same thing, alhamdulillah, without bismillah, bismillah, this some other minor discussions which are not very important. But one major, very important part, we only do our sajda on turba, or we have a special standard for that, right? But they are offering the salat and doing sajda on anything they want, anything they feel is okay. But what is the criteria in Shia methodology, in Shia fiqh? So answer is number one. Number one, Shia only. Recite loud salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Okay, if you said one loud salawat, inshallah they're going to understand. Okay, read loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Okay. So these things are important, understand? Without learning these things, you are unable to save your belief, right? Someone may confuse you and you can leave your practice inside, right? So we have to have firm belief in our practice. Okay, so let me give you answer. Number one. First, very simple answer, you always remember and you have no problem at all. Then I will prove from some other ways, okay? Number one. Okay. I am not going to discuss at the fiqh level. I am going to give you logical answer, right? Okay. If you ask from any your Sunni friend and ask on which thing sajda is permissible in your fiqh, on which thing you can perform your sajda, what they are going to answer? They are going to answer anything we can offer, we can perform what? Sajda, anything. Then hold the sajda and ask, is this come into anything or not? This sajda is included in anything or not? If this is including anything, so what is your objection? Recite salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. This is true. In their faith, sajda is allowed in anything, right? So, sajda is consider anything or not? Yes, it's coming to anything. So why you have objection? Okay, number two. They say you put the sajda in front of you, so you worship the sajda of mohur or this thing. So they say, okay, I remove that thing. What do you have in front of you? Your musalla. Are you worshipping the musalla? They're going to say, no, we are doing sajda on musalla. We are not doing sajda for musalla. Your sajda is for Allah. You're doing on musalla. So same way our sajda is for Allah, we are doing on sajda. Ila or alay, that is the Arabic word. We are doing for Allah, our sajda is for Allah, but we are doing on sajda. So this is the answer, this is simple. Okay, now how we prove? Number one. In beginning of Islam, I can give you very right and good proof, so keep in your mind. So when you do the sajda, remember these things. Inshallah, and I shall conclude my Majalis on this discussion, right? This is very important part, please. Remember one. Okay. Number one. Read loud salawat, recite loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. How? Okay. When in Islam, what is the, in Shia fiqh, what is the criteria for sajda? Anything related to earth or grow from earth. With one condition, in not used in eatable things or used in wearing as a cloth or wearable thing, right? So this is like the criteria. We are permissible to use anything which is related to earth or growing from earth. So earth is like you can do directly on sand or dirt or on anything like that, okay? Or stone, anything natural related to coming out from earth, except the precious stones. Precious stones are not allowed because you may keep and do sajda on that. They create pride in you. Oh, I have costlier sajda, you have cheaper. So they may be cause Allah never permitted or allowed us to do sajda on precious stone like diamond or something like that. But anything which is related to earth related things, you can do it. Or anything which is growing from earth, any trees, or any like the leaves or things is permissible to do.
That's not edible.
Yeah, not eatable. But eatable means the human not eating, right? If animal eating is fine. If edible is like if animals are eating is fine. So like something which like spinach you cannot use because we eat. But you can use like the leaves of any other tree which are not used in commonly eatable. Maybe like something used as a medicine, there's no problem. Medicine is permissible. Normal eating, right? You see, because we have some leaves that exist in India and they use for medical purposes. So this is not a problem in that because normally they are not using as a food. Because why? Because when you keep something which is you normally eat or wear, divert your attention. There is maybe one reason, or maybe people are not paying proper attention to their salat, or some other reason maybe they are, but they are not have time to discuss. So okay, now we have to go. So where we prove that thing, how we prove our like the concept is true, and this is the like the right way to do. Number one, first masjid built by Prophet in Medina. There is no mosque Prophet built in Makkah. Why? Even the Prophet lived in Makkah more than 10 years, like 30 years. In 11 years he lived into the Medina. Because namaz was not wajib in Makkah. Okay, now, how we prove this? Number first mosque built by Prophet ﷺ in the Medina is Masjid Quba. When Prophet built this mosque, how he built? Very simple, very simple. But there was no money available for the Prophet to build like huge mosque like the Mosque of Medina right now. The Masjid Quba was built by, he used the pillars of like palm tree or whatever like the wood was available, and he put just some type of shade on that. That's it, simple mosque. And Prophet started mosque there. So the ground was natural ground. They were offering salat on natural ground. So first mosque was built with the no carpet, right? This is natural ground, and they were using that ground as a natural resources. Okay, read loud salawat, please. One more. Okay, so natural ground they use. So this means we prove Prophet performed his sajda on natural ground. It's proof. There is no doubt in that, right? So that means we are following the tradition of the Prophet. There is no harm in that. If someone asks us why you are using the dirt or natural earth for your sajda, so we prove from this incident when first mosque was built, that was a natural ground. There was no tiles or carpet or something available. But later on, because like even though after they build the mosque or they are not allowed, they have time to always they offer their salat in mosque. Sometimes they are battlefield or somewhere they are offering salat. So when Prophet was asking, I have several hadiths collected from our scholars to prove our point of view. They are explaining even sometimes you see in the especially in Saudi Arabia the weather is very hot. Temperature is more than like the 50 degrees Celsius, right? At the time if you put your forehead on the ground is burning, very heavy. So at the time when they're putting their forehead on that, right? Forehead on that, what happened at the time? Almost they have like the burning feeling. So they are not putting their forehead on the ground completely. Prophet saw that thing and he object. He asked the person, why you are not putting your ground? You see, it's very burning feeling. I can't feel comfortable. You say, no. You have to put your forehead on hottest. It's necessary. Without touching your forehead on the ground, your sajda is not complete. Your salat is not acceptable. So these type of riwayat even available in the books of Ahl Sunnah everywhere. So that means non-people are offering the salat on natural ground. This is second proof. Again, Ali ibn Abdullah ibn Abbas. This is one of the Tabain. He wrote a letter to one of his companion because he was living in the Medina, and he asked his friend to send a piece of mountain of Safa, means a stone from Safa. Why? And he mentioned in his own letter, because I want to use that piece of stone as a sajda, right? Do my sajda on that. That's why his friend asked, why you want to do that? He answered, because this is a symbol of sacrifice of a mother and his son, Hazrat Hajra and Ismail. So I want to keep their sacrifice in my memory, so I like to use that. So this is from Tabain. That means they used to practice the same thing which we are following today. So you see, now we have to ask another question from the people. If Ali ibn Abdullah ibn Abbas, if he like to put the stone of Safa for commemorating or keeping memory in his mind for Hazrat Hajra and Hazrat Ismail, whose sacrifice is bigger? Imam Hussain sacrifice, Hazrat Ismail. Hazrat Ismail was not slaughtered, but Imam Hussain mercilessly slaughtered in the Karbala. We are commemorating his Shahadat. Today is 11th of Mohurram. So that means the sacrifice of Imam Hussain is more bigger than Hazrat Ismail. So we are allowed to keep the Sajdaga for commemorating the Shahadat of Imam Hussain. Recite Salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is like the general thing. Okay, after some time, because the weather was hot, so they are allowed to perform Sajdaga on carpet. But which carpet? That is the question again. The carpet made out of leaves of palm tree. What they were using? They using natural things. They were not making like any type of synthetic material at the time. Synthetic material, man-made material was not available at the time. So this is our promise. This we can prove easily without any doubt. We can go and research on Wikipedia, Google today, find when the man-made material is started. Synthetic material is started. Maybe within 60, 70, 100 years, not 1400 years. Before there was natural material was available, right? So all Muslims were using the natural material for Sajdaga. Recently they use the plastic or carpet or something which is available right now, right? So that means Prophet was using natural material, and we are also following the same tradition as Prophet left for us. But let me just quote one or two more like the important points regarding Sajda. Sajda is one of the things we started after Shahadat of Imam Hussain, because our Imam Zainul Abidin, Imam Muhammad Baqir, and also Imam Jaffari emphasize on that. How emphasize? We have several hadiths regarding Sajdaga. How? Because Sajdaga is, again, we can keep in our mind that today's Salat exists because of sacrifice of Imam Hussain. If Imam Hussain was not stood up against Yazid, Yazid only denounced everything. He was denying the Tawheed, he was denying Quran, he was denying everything. So when people following him as a religious leader, then there is no Salat was exist. So today Salat is exist due to sake of Imam Hussain, due to sacrifice of Imam Hussain. So we have to remember him and commemorate Shahadat by keeping. Number two reason. We have hadiths. I am going to quote one or two hadiths and inshallah finish my speech for today. Number one. When you use the Sajdaga for your Salat, what benefit you receive? Number one, your concentration is there, number one. Number two, very important part. You see, our sixth Imam said if someone used Sajdaga made out of Karbala, right? Out of Karbala, and he performed his Sajda on that, Allah going to accept his prayer. Even though his prayer is not in the condition of acceptance. Means he may missing some part, he may not performing Salat with full concentration. If he have lack of concentration and you lose some sawab, if you use the Sajdaga, Allah going to accept due to that act you are performing by recommendation of our Imams, right? So we use the Sajdaga because our Imams recommended that thing. Then it's increase the thing. Again, is there the other discussion? Let me just end up with the scientific things. Yeah. So what is the benefit of Sajda? Sajda is like just for sake of Allah. One thing, remember, we are not allowed to do Sajda for anyone else beside Allah. It's not permissible at all. We are not allowed to do Sajda for anyone. Sajda is just for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We cannot put our forehead on anything for sake of anything. Right? Only you can perform Sajda for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sajda is just for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not going into like the Quranic other discussion, but I'll limit it. Now recently the scientific research came out. And you understand, I have several answers for that. Some people have some issues about it, but I have answers for that. Don't worry about it. But inshallah, one thing is very common. You see, what they discovered recently. They discovered when you use your electronic gadgets, right? Your cell phone, your computer, your phones, your like the iPad, iPod, whatever you're using, right? They are run on batteries, right? And they are made out of plastic materials. Whenever you use these things, they create extraordinary static electricity in your body. What they create? Extraordinary static electricity in your body, which normally exists in your body because your whole nervous system depend on that. The communication occurs in your body due to that electricity. But excessive cause tension in your mind, make you dizzy, may keep you like in the condition you don't feel good. So excessive static electricity is bad for you. You know, especially when they put the towers of your cell phones, people live around that area, they have less protection because of they get tired very soon. Recently they have, even though in India, in Bombay and in like the Delhi, where they have lots of like these towers, they sue the company and they put limit on that. They are not allowing them to recite loud salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Why they are limiting these things? Why they are limiting these things? Because they are causing extraordinary static electricity, which is like making people tired very quickly, and they are not feeling comfortable and doing their normal activity. So how the sajda is related to that? You see, so what they are asking, if you do something which ground your static electricity and make it in normal level. So as soon as you put your forehead on earth, your static electricity is going to be grounded, come on to natural level. So you see, you are performing sajda from 1400 years, but still giving you benefit with the modern era, whatever coming around you. Recite loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. That what does it mean? Means we have to understand whatever Allah orders us to do is always in our benefit. So if you're using again man-made material, synthetic material, is not going to give you that benefit at least, right? So answer is simple. Remember, if someone asks why you perform sajda or dirt or something, answer is simple, because Prophet used to do in the beginning. Number two, according to your fiqh, sajda is allowed on everything, and sajda is among the everything. So there's no problem in that, right? We are not doing sajda for this sajda. We are doing sajda for sake of Allah. We are doing on sajda, right? Not for sajda. That is the difference. Okay, now next thing is that when you perform, okay, one of the very good things, Karbala, dirt of Karbala have miraculous effect. This is a whole completely different discussion, and we don't have time to go in detail and something. Some people, they were curious, like a question in their mind, they're asking something. You see, if you find the actual dirt of grave of Imam Hussain, not dirt of Karbala, dirt of grave of Imam Hussain, today even this may exist some places in the world. Yesterday was Ashura. On day of Ashura, I've seen myself, and also I have shown on YouTube and so many other places. You can go and look for yourself. The dirt of actual grave of Imam Hussain turned red on day of Ashura. Why? Because after death of Imam Hussain, whole world was mourning. They were participating in the azab of Imam Hussain. So you can see the redness on the sky. For 40 days, if you lift any stone from that area, you found real blood underneath it. Even the one person, like the Hindu lady, she becomes Shia. She wrote a big book about so many things. She is from Britain. She proved the day Imam Hussain martyr, there was a blood rain was there, and they recorded into the British, like the library where they were keeping record of that thing, and when they calculated, they found it. So this is the all phenomena occur at that time is natural, you see, because there was really a big incident, and all natural things were participating, showing their grief and sorrow. So we are today feeling sad because this is natural things. We relate it to Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, right? That is the point. So inshallah, I conclude right here. There's so many other things I like to discuss with you, which is related to these things. Why we like to include Aliyullah and Hayala Khalil Malina was Salat, and what was the reason why they are not saying these words related to Azan. Some common differences, right? You have to learn, at least from our part. We are not like the objecting on their act. They are free to choose and do. But we have to at least accept according to our point of view. If you read loud salawat, inshallah, go into the next section. Okay, read loud salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. One more loud salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Okay. So now, listen carefully. So why the Khaki Karbala or that of Karbala is important? Because Imam Hussain sacrificed his life there, and his blood was mixed into that dirt, and that dirt had miraculous effect, and we have so many like proof for that. But now let me tell you, when you remember the 11th day of Mohurram, what do you remember? Imam Hussain already sacrificed his life, right? All other family members, 72 martyrs, they already sacrificed their life. Only Imam Zainul Abidin was left alive, and also Bibi Zainab and other women and children. So they tried to capture them as a prisoner. But a very saddest incident happened at that day. What happened? They tried to prove they killed Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So how they proved? They proved by giving the head to the Yazid. So they start cutting the head of all the martyrs. See, this is the thing, very much difficult to understand, but they did in the Karbala. As soon as someone died, they cut their head and just put on the spears and carry with the orphan and all the ladies. They lost their family member in the Karbala. So the saddest incident happened in that night, 11th of the Mohurram. In the morning they were counting the heads. When they were counting the heads, what they found? The one head is missing. Why? Because Imam only buried one person. Who was that? Who was Hazrat Ali Asghar. Because he was so small, in fact, 6 months old. If Imam leave Hazrat Ali Asghar body on the ground, the temperature of the Karbala not suitable for that. So what Imam did? Imam dig a grave with his sword, Zulfaqar, and then Imam buried Hazrat Ali Asghar in the ground. Only grave Imam dig and buried was Ali Asghar because of his age. No one left. All other martyrs left on the ground. Imam Zainul Abidin came with a miraculous way and he buried everyone. But Imam only buried. So what happened when they were counting the head? They found one head is missing. We killed 72 members and we have only 71 heads. So what they asked, they asked the soldiers to go take the long spears and start putting in the ground and find where Imam Hussain buried his 6-month-old baby. So so all tents were burned. So all ladies were sitting outside. They were waiting to go from Karbala to where they were taking them. In this case, they were able to see what is happening. Immediately, when the Hazrat Rabab heard that message, the people are searching for 6-month-old baby Hazrat Ali Asghar alayhi salam. She was worried, but what she can do? They start looking for the grave of Hazrat Ali Asghar. They mount on the horse, they're holding the long spears, they start digging in the ground, putting inside the ground. Hazrat Rabab was looking what's going to happen, and suddenly one spear went inside the ground and stuck with the body of Hazrat Ali Asghar. When the spear came out, the body was stuck in the spear. So they got the body of Hazrat Ali Asghar out. Now, what was the situation? The person who got that body out of the grave, he tried to behead the Hazrat Ali Asghar, tried to cut his head from the body, but he tried to cut the head in the way the mother of Hazrat Ali Asghar can see, because there was no tent. She cannot hide. She was just looking at this baby, what she can do at the time. He just cut the head of Hazrat Ali Asghar and mount on the spear, and suddenly he threw the body toward the Hazrat Rabab Salamullah Alaiha. As soon as she got the baby, when you go get the baby in your hand, what normally mothers try to do, they try to kiss on the face and cheek. When she got the baby, there was no head on that. What she can do, she can say, "Oh my son, you came to my lap without your head, so I cannot even kiss you." In this case, Bibi Rabab left the body in the Karbala, and she went from the Karbala to Kufa. What happened? This one incident was very serious for the Hazrat Rabab. The other side, the Layla was also going as a prisoner from the Karbala to Kufa. When they were walking toward the Kufa, what they found, some ladies, the nuns, they came out from the church, and what they found, the many beautiful heads on the spear. What some of the ladies, they are talking among them, they are discussing, they say, they look at the face of Hazrat Ali Akbar. Hazrat Ali Akbar was the most beautiful person among them, right? He looked like the Prophet. So what they are discussing, you see this beautiful person martyred mercilessly. So we wish when he died, his mother was not alive. As soon as these words reached to the Hazrat Rabba, Hazrat Layla asked from these ladies, you say, do you have any bitterness or enmity with the mother of this boy? We say, no, we are saying due to sake of our love, not for the hatred. Why? Because if we have no relationship with Ali Akbar and his head is on the spear, we are unable to bear the pain, we are unable to look at his face, we feel so much sad by these things. If we are unable to bear the pain, how come the mother can bear this pain, or she can control herself? And then Hazrat Layla answered, I am the mother of this boy, I am the mother of Hazrat Ali Akbar. He died in front of me, and I am constantly looking at his face. And also, I am just following the order of my master, Imam Hussain. So remain patient and go from the Karbala to Kufa, and Kufa to Sham. And remember, all the family members, they gave their life for sake of Islam. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad.